I'll be speaking on Jesus the way. Jesus the way. Now, Jesus is not a way. Jesus is not a way. He is not any way, but he is the way. The article D used with way here shows that this way is specified. Following the world is like you are following any way. Any way will lead you to any destination. Many are not sure of their eternal destination because they have not found the way. Until you find the way, you may not stop doubting if you will make heaven or hell. I remember many years ago, I used to have this problem. I would just sit and start thinking, what if I die now? Will I go to heaven or hell? I am not, I'm not dead, but suddenly you know, the fear of death is gripping me. Why? Because at that point, maybe I was not sure of the way. When you find the sure way, then your eternal destination becomes sure. Any other way you choose to walk in, different from the only way, which is Jesus, will bring you into an everlasting confusion. This is why many are scared to identify themselves with Jesus openly, because if anything happens, they don't know where they are going. The apostles of old were bold and fearless because they knew the way. The cure to the fear of death is your knowledge of the way. When you know the way, the fear of death will die in you because you know where you're going. You will become safe to be followed when you know the way. How can you claim you are a leader when you don't even know the way? If you ever lead people without this knowledge, then you will lead them astray. When the blind leads the blind, they will all fall into the ditch. The Bible refers to those who have not found the way as the blind. It doesn't matter who you are and how well you live. If you have not found the way, you are blind. And the future of the blind, according to the scriptures, is the pits. Don't continue to be numbered among the blind. Be among those who can see by choosing to walk in the way. Every man is walking, every man is walking, but not every man is walking in the way. The way is usually narrow because there are restrictions through instructions, and you don't pass through. You don't pass through it or even walk in it when sin has made you fat. There are some people that have been made fat by sin. Such people cannot walk in the narrow way. What does it mean to be made fat by sin? That means to be living in the habit of sin. Sin has now become a daily thing. If that is you, then it means you have been made fat by sin. So the problem is you will not be able to walk on the narrow path because you are too fat. Every way is leading to a place. So if Jesus is the way, then where is it leading to? It is good you know that Jesus is the way leading to the Father. If you follow Jesus, you won't miss the Father. Maybe you are listening to me and you have missed the way. You know you are walking, but you are not sure which way you are walking in. This is an opportunity to say, Lord, I choose to walk in your way. His way is what opens up his will. You can't say you are in his will when you are not walking in his way. The will of God is in his way. Anything you find outside of God's way cannot be God's will. You can't go to God without passing through Jesus. God is not exposed. He is not opened carelessly to everything. For you to find God, there is a pattern to follow. Jesus is the only way to the Father. If you start with Jesus and you continue in Him, then you will meet the Father. There is just one way that leads to God. Though there are many other ways leading somewhere, but the way that leads to God is one. No wonder Jesus told Martha when he visited them, he said, one thing is needful. That is to say, one way is needful. If you miss that way, then you have missed God. What is religion? Religion is man's way of meeting with God. It is man's way of trying to interact with divinity. So the visible wanted a relationship with the invisible. So they created a way. So religion is man's way of trying to know God. Because the visible wanted to know the invisible, so they created a way, and they called it religion. So religion is man's effort to reach God. Religion is man's effort to reach God. But Jesus is God's effort to make man reach him. Can you see that? Religion is man's effort to reach God. But Jesus is God's effort to make man reach him. So except he draws you, you can't come. Are you getting that? This is why it is commonly said that Christianity is not a religion. Anywhere you belong, you must find, you must ensure that Jesus is there. Because if Jesus is not there, you are not safe. If Jesus is absent, then the whole exercise is an effort in futility. Many are working now, but they won't meet with God because they are not working in the way. There is a way to please God. Jesus is the way. Can you see that? There is a way to please God. Jesus is the way. Maybe you are listening to me and you desire to please God. I want to please you. Oh God, I want to please you. Well, you've gotten an answer. There's a way to please God. Jesus is the way. There's a way to go to heaven. Jesus is the way. There's a way to be a blessing to your generation. Jesus is the way. There's a way to have peace and have it in abundance. Jesus is the way. There's a way to grow spiritually. Jesus is the way. There's a way to be a problem solver. Jesus is the way. There's a way to become God's beloved. Jesus is the way. In conclusion, you must understand that Jesus is the way to access every good thing that God can give. What is the way? Or who is the way? To God, way is not a path where people can pass through, but instead it is a person that can be followed. So follow Jesus, to follow Jesus is to follow the way. So follow Jesus and you will not miss the Father. This is the wisdom of God. Don't sell it.